welcome back to the Team Empire podcast. You're here with your host, Shannon, and I have another amazing guest on today and another returning guest. How good are they? It's Amber Dewar. Say hello to Amber, everyone.
Hi. Oh my God, what do?
Welcome back. You were on freaking ages ago, episode 6, December 2022. We just were talking about this the other day, but a lot has gone on in that time. Holy heck. We'll catch up on it all. But how are you? How are you doing at the moment? Like in May 2024 now, how are you doing this month?
We're doing good, Sissy. We're very happy to be here. So thank you for having me back on. It honestly feels like a lifetime ago. We were doing the podcast, but yeah, we're here, like a lifetime ago, but also just the other day. So
yeah,
it's all good things.
Yeah, everyone wants to know, how's Amber doing since she's left, since she's moved over across the ditch, but we'll talk about that too. But we've got to get into the bodybuilding first. We have to. We do.
So rip on into it. Let's go.
We can't sleep. I sent you the brief yesterday, and I was like, how do I keep this briefer than a brief? I was like, I don't know how to pack it in, but we'll start with the bodybuilding. I figured that was a good place to get going since you've just wrapped it up,
Stunning.
And all of our followers and listeners all want to know about how your season was. So firstly, congratulations. You did so well. You competed in, for anyone that doesn't know, Season A, IFBB Australia, with all the big girls and everyone that we're terrified of.
With the big gals, yeah.
But how was your season? Just tell us about it. How was it going into it, the prep and stuff like that? We'll go into all the details, but how was it overall, babe?
The season was so good. Like, it sounds so cliche, but I was like, this was probably like the best prep. Obviously, it was better than last time, but very, very good season, like really good experience. It just sort of ran, I think, and overall the results, like just feeling super content. I don't really have like any bad things to say about it because I was like, oh, cool, like we just did it,
Just getting it done, babe. And how was it like? We'll go into like all the feels and everything, but knowing that you're going onto the Aussie stage, was that stressful for you? Were you nervous? How are you feeling about that? Because obviously you competed in New Zealand last time, so this time was Aussie. So was there a different feels going into that?
It was very different. I think last show or last New Zealand IFBB was after Nationals. And so it was the last one for the year, very like kind of small venue, much smaller numbers of competitors on stage. And, going into the Australian League, you have hundreds of athletes on that stage. Beautiful, big auditorium venue kind of thing, and it really shows like how well they run these things. Not that obviously New Zealand doesn't, but it's just Queensland's bodybuilding central over here. Like everyone's a bodybuilder in Queensland, and really well done. So like a huge testament to everyone involved in like running the Australian IFBB. But it was such a good experience at the same time, like very smooth, very clear, like you knew where you had to be, what you had to do. And they really looked after the athletes. So it was good, obviously coming from, New Zealand, little New Zealand into the big wide world. But yeah, it was great. It was great.
Nice, babe. You did so well because your last season was 2022 as well. And we obviously talked about that in our last episode. But for the people that didn't know, that's when you competed last. So long off season. How did your off season go? Was it good? Did you build and did you see what you wanted to see at the end of that build? And how did it all go?
Yeah, off season was good. So we pretty much came out of, prep end of 2022. Spent Christmas at home, had fun, did all those good things. And then we built for about 18 months. So from, what was it? Yeah, I don't know, 2022. And then we were prepping him the stage for 2024. Like majority of that time was in a build. And it was kind of hard, like prep, you're like, okay, I've got to lose this amount to look like this on the day, and then it's done. Building, you're sort of like, you're increasing your food and you're pushing for an extra rep, and you're getting stronger, but you're like, is there muscle underneath? Like, I don't know. I hope so. And like honestly, there were a couple of times of like self-doubt, like really big self-doubt. I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm not making any progress, like this isn't working, or an injury will flare up. And it wasn't until actually prepping and shredding down again that I was like, oh, sorry, it's been dramatic. We have had change. Hallelujah.
It's been working the whole time.
Exactly. So, I mean, like the off season was great. I think the fire was lit from that first run of shows, and you go into it, obviously you don't know what you don't know. And we tried, I think, ICN, WNBF, and IFBB that season. So we really ran the gauntlet. And got lots of feedback on sort of like what areas to bring up as well. And then Kurt pretty much just made the plan. We tried to execute that. The judges said bigger glutes, and I feel like we definitely achieved that this season. So yeah, I was pretty happy at the end of it, but I definitely was doubting myself when it came to November 2023 and Kurt's like, right, it's time to prep. I was like, do we have to? Maybe I just stay in this field forever and I'll just keep growing because I'm not too sure. And he said, Amber, we have to strip you down to see what's underneath or else we're never going to know. And I was very, very hesitant. And then I think, coming through the shows and the prep being quite successful, I was like, oh, I actually did quite well. So that's been really like validating in a way.
So do you think like trusting your coach in those moments, how do you feel like you got through those moments of like, oh my God, I just don't know if this is if this is working? What do you do then?
100%. Just hand the wheel over to Kurt and be like, you've hired a coach for a reason. Even though like I'm a coach and obviously have experience in the fitness industry, like I know how muscles grow, I know how these things work, but sometimes you're also like, I'm just a girl, like I'm just also a client and I need to be coached sometimes, and that's what they're there for. That's what you've hired them for. And I think just keeping in comms, he's always like, Amber, you need to ask for help when you need help. Like you don't have to coach yourself and then just like tell me what you've done.
You've got someone there for you, babe. Use them. It's hard as a coach, how you feel like, I've got this as well, I'm fine. But sometimes you need to really communicate, I guess is key.
Exactly. Open communication, baby. Like something everyone's working on all the time, but clear, open communication. If you don't know, or if you don't tell people what's going on, they're going to have no clue at all. So that's always the motto. Just trust the coach.
And what do you think about doing because you took the whole year off last year. Did you at all consider competing last year, or was it 100% not going to compete, going to do a full year off?
Yeah, not even thinking about competing. I was like, nah, all right, we've got things we need to do. 2024, like I'm coming back with a vengeance.
And do you recommend doing that? Because I'm doing that right now as well. I'm taking this whole year off, and a lot of girls do go back to back, and some of them are assisted as well, enhanced or whatever, and things like that, and that might help. But also they just like to compete. Some girls just like to fucking go hard, and I back it all the time. But what do you think about taking that year off? Because a lot of people do say that it's a really good idea and you're going to build the most, you're going to be healthier and happier. Do you feel like it was beneficial for you in that way?
Yeah, I think it was for me, definitely. So I didn't have the density just yet. And I think for me personally, like taking that longer off season, like growing as much as I could for as long as possible was so beneficial as opposed to growing for 4 to 6 months, then shredding. When you're shredding, like you're not growing, you're just trying to maintain. And so you essentially cut that growth time in half. Once I think I get to a position where I have the density and it's just about like, posing, stage condition, like those minor tweaks, that's when it's like, okay, let's go every year, every season, even until we get that card. But am I there right now? Like probably not. Like we're probably gonna whatever the plan is, we're going to continue to grow. And then once we have that density as our foundation, I think we'll be in a really good position to just start doing things a bit more frequently.
It's a long game, isn't it? It really is.
It's a slow burn.
And sometimes I feel like for me as well, like you don't know until you do your first prep, because like, yeah, you've been shredded, but you've never been comp shredded, and how much is actually there. And I was so confident. I was like, I've got to be nearly wellness, it's got to be that good. And then you shred down and it's like, okay, well, there's fuck all there. You got to really build that up.
Yeah, you're like, oh, we've got peanuts. No.
I thought my glutes were poop, but it was a lot of body fat. You never even know what's there until you do your first one, and then it's that long game from there after, isn't it? But it was so you did Queensland show, you did the Brisbane show, the biggest show as well. I love
Didn't
it.
know that going into it. I was like, oh, just jump on in the deep end. Why not? I live here.
This will be perfect. It's just close to home. But it is the biggest show. It's like, it's amazing. It's always good to see Brisbane because it always just pulls out a whole bunch of different people that you might not have even known were going to compete. So it was a huge show, babe. And like you said, it was all really organized well. And then there was nationals a few weeks later. Did
Yes.
you plan on doing nationals? Because you didn't do it. We're going to talk about that. But did you ever plan on doing nationals? Are we going to see how it goes? What was your plan at the start?
Yeah, so I mean, like I sort of said in November, I was like, I don't really know if I want to even compete or shred down. And Kurt was like, let's just see where you're at. So the whole purpose of Queensland State Show or like competing season A was to just like see where we're at, see where we line up, like strip you down, get lean, have a look at what's underneath. It wasn't sort of like we're gonna win, we're gonna get the card. None of those things. It was just like an assessment if we look at it really like clinically, but sort of went into it, and there were points where I was like, maybe I'll pull out, maybe I won't, I'm not too sure. But we got to the state show, and nationals was only 2 weeks after, which was fantastic. But last year season A nationals was in Brisbane. But this year it was in Melbourne, and just even that extra little like, I've got to fly there. It's cold. Not too sure. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a big
but
job.
it was a big job. So, just even getting to the Queensland show was fantastic because, like you said, the lineup was outrageous. Like, there are some veteran girls who have been competing for years and years, and it was honestly just like incredible to stand next to them and be like, wow, okay, this is the standard.
Crazy. That's amazing, babe. What were the girls like? You've got to tell me because I know that a lot of them are really like just there to get the shit done, and just like game face only, or like some of them are probably just like socializing backstage. But what is it like? Because obviously us Kiwi girls haven't done that. So what is it like backstage at like a Queensland show?
It's good. Like everyone, a couple of gals from my gym, my local gym, were competing, and so we sort of knew each other through that, or knew that would all be there together. Backstage, you go down, everyone just lies their little towel out, makes their little corner, and I think with like coaches and competitors, like some people might have a bit of a clique or a group that they know everyone, they just sort of chill together. Some people might be lone rangers. Like I was just sort of like, hey, who do I know? Can I sit with you? But no, it was really good vibes. Like everyone was so accommodating, very friendly. There wasn't any like, ruining anyone's bikini or anything backstage. Like when you warm up, there is a big dumbbell pump up area, things like that. And, girls being like, oh, like, can I use the 10 kg dumbbells after you? And you're like, yeah, of course, or even being like, oh, you're going on before me. Like, you use these ones because I'm not on for 2 classes. So it was really, really nice. Like, no mean girl energy. Well, I didn't experience any anyway. Me, I'm like, da da da. Everyone's great. Probably just oblivious, but no, it was really good and like really supportive. So almost like just like bestie friend vibes.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
I love that. Did you see Troy Thornton back there rounding up his troops and his army and his
I did. I saw like a lot of big faces, big names. I was like, oh wow, like there's them in real life. Hi.
How good, and you're amongst it, babe. You're right in
I
there.
know. And you're sort of just like, oh, like everyone's just a human, like everyone's so normal, even if they have like a million followers or whatever. You're like, oh, like you're here sweating too. Like,
Babe,
yeah.
same team. I love that, babe. And then so tell everyone about your placings. What did you get? What kind of gold did you take home, or silvers or bronzes? What did you do, babe?
The placing, so felt very, very happy. I placed second in True Novice for my height class, and then third in Novice. And then I came sixth in the overall. So I was just one shy of first call outs, but felt really, really good for a test the waters show. One thing that might be helpful, I'm not too sure if anyone's thinking of like competing in Australia from New Zealand, is that unless you have purchased an NPC membership, I'm not sure if New Zealand IFBB does that now. It didn't before. And so I still technically qualified as a true novice athlete because I haven't had NPC membership before, which meant I was able to compete in that category in Australia. And so you can actually continue competing in the true novice category for that entire season. So if you wanted to do, you know, your state show and then a different state show and that show and then nationals, like you can do say like four different shows and you're still a true novice, which was quite a cool way to do it.
It was really cool way to, because I was wondering that when you got up and it was like true novice, I was like, no, how? I've seen her do it before, you know?
Yeah, you've
like,
been on stage now.
you need to see her again in another class, but how does this happen? So that's the politics behind it there, guys. That makes sense. We did start last year, they started a registration fee to compete in New Zealand. So I think that
Yeah, okay.
registers you into, it says IFBB, but I think it means NPC for New Zealand. I'm pretty sure that must be what they've started. I know there's a lot of changes. Tyler doing a whole bunch of different shit, but it's all good stuff, you know. We all like it. What's Tony Doherty like? Did you meet him backstage?
I did. He's so funny. Great guy. Like, I know, just like the blokiest bloke you could imagine, right? Like he just loves bodybuilding, lives and breathes it. Very, very friendly. Like I would just message him. I was like, hey, I've competed in New Zealand IFBB. Like, what does this mean? What can I do? And he responded like right away. It was super helpful. But yeah, he's as like charismatic and funny that he sounds like on the live shows in real life. So yeah.
I love it. He's perfect for the bodybuilding over there, eh? He helps the hype.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
How's your reverse going, babe? We're going to talk about it. Everyone hates a reverse, mostly. I mean, I kind of enjoyed mine. I found it kind of nice to eat more food over time.
Yeah.
But how are you going with it all? Because how long has it been now? A couple of months?
I think it's honestly been like 6 weeks or something. I've lost count. So we're just like, oh, it's just that thing we did that one day. The world keeps spinning. Life goes on, you know. But it's going really well. Like, I don't know. I'm not much of a foodie. Like, I'm a bit of like a robot. I could eat the same meal for a year and not like care, which is very helpful trait to be a bodybuilder. But it's going pretty good. I think after the show, obviously, I had already decided I wasn't going to do nationals by then. And so I was like, yeah, just gotta get through this day and then I'm done, baby. Don't have to have like lean sushi as my, post-show treat. It's like we're going for a big burger and some treats. Yeah, no, it was good. And otherwise, I mean, we had, I think, like four days sort of like let me free, set me free. I'll come back on my own. But if we tried to be like must eat your meal plan Mondays, be like, that's not happening. I've got a cookie croissant waiting for me, like you know. And so had a lot of food freedom, and I think with that obviously had some treats. I sort of like my normal breakfast, like protein oats, post-workout, eggs, you know me. It's the same thing every day. You've seen it on IG. And then we might have tried like a couple of treats, or me and Em went to a cafe to work. And so we get like a proper coffee, not just like an iced Americano, you know. And then like a cookie, or would try a different dinner. And so that was really nice for still having majority of that food. And then I was in Sydney with a bit more like food freedom again, but me and him actually did a lot of meal prep. We went to Woolies and, made chicken rice in the hotel. And I've since sort of just got back on plan. Like there's definitely been, I think there was a week where hunger hormones were really like this. And I was like, what's going on? Like I'm not used to this. I'm normally just following my meal plan. And I think I ate over like 200 calories a couple days in a row. I was like, oh my God, Kurt, like I've done this awful thing. Like I haven't been able to stick to my plan. He was like, you need to rein it in, girl. It's only 200 calories. It's not 2,000. You're doing actually okay. And we'll just try again tomorrow. And since then, like we're back up to lots of cows, like 2K plus cows, bringing cardio down, feeling really good. So yeah, I mean, it's been pretty pleasant. I think, again, like I don't want to take it for granted because I know reverses can sometimes not be that smooth sailing for other people. So everyone's reverse is always going to be so different. But yeah, feeling pretty good.
The more you love it, the easier it is, right? And the more passion you've got, it's going to be like just what you want to do, isn't it? So
exactly, yeah.
Good, babe. And we'll talk about Kurt because you just mentioned it before, but you've been coached by him for so long now, since like ages. So talk to us about that.
So long.
How long have you been coached by him first off, and then how is this prep compared to your 2022 with him, like as a little relationship there? How's that all going?
Oh, I feel like Kurt's just been looking after me for years and years now. He's just like that person you go to, you know. He's a fantastic coach. Like I could not speak more highly of him. When did I start? I think we were with the previous coach. We wanted to prep in 2021, but I think that was when they had all the lockdowns still. Remember when
Yeah.
all those shows didn't go ahead? So we were prepping in the garage. We bought a Smith machine. We still thought we're going to do a show this year, me and V. We were so naive. The shows did not happen. We just got really, really lean in the garage. But after that prep, I wanted to switch coaches, and that's when I reached out to Kurt. So it would have been like October 2021, and it's now like May 2024. What?
Oh, easy. Long time.
Yeah, so Kurt's just been driving the bus since then. I think this prep was really good because he's obviously coached me through that previous prep in 2022 as well. And he understood how my body works, like what I respond well to. And we definitely ramped it up a little bit more this time. He's like, all right, I know what you're capable of. I know how far I can push you, and I know you're going to do it. Which was really good. And so we added in things like Stairmaster a lot earlier, whereas last prep, I didn't actually do stairs. I just did incline treadmill and steps. And then this time it was like, no, you're getting on the incinerator. And it made such a difference. Like when you compare stage packages, I was like, well, yeah, I am way leaner this time. So it was really good. You know, I felt comfortable the whole time. And because we worked together, I was like, well, I kind of know what to expect as well.
True. This is why you do the long game with coaches. You don't need a new one every season just because it's like fun and fresh. Like sometimes
Yeah,
you stick with them long term because they just get to know you so well, don't they? And it's just like the relationship gets better and you can be more honest. And it's just like really cool like that, eh?
definitely.
Speaking of coaches, you're also coached by your posing coach. I love your posing coach. So we're going to talk about her for a second.
My girl.
I'm obsessed with her. She was a Season A winner last year, 2023, and she got her pro card. It's Morgan Eldred. I'm a big fan of Morgan. She's beautiful, and I follow all of her pages and her posing, and she's just done so well since getting her pro card. I knew she was going to run with it, and she did. But what has your posing been like with Morgan? Have you been enjoying doing it in person with her? And what is she like as a person as well?
Oh my goodness, my sweet Morgan. So me and Morgan have actually become like really close friends. Like she's someone I'd have over for games night in her slippers, you know, like she is the most beautiful human, very hardworking gal, like very inspirational friend to have in your life. And I value that so highly, you know, it's like you surround yourself with people who make you want to be better, right? But she's incredible. Like I've never met someone so disciplined, dedicated, and like she puts in the work, you know, to everything she does, her own training, her work, her friendships, her relationships. Like she's just a 100 kind of gal, which is incredible. And so learning from her was such a positive experience. I think the posing journey, I was reflecting on this. I was like, yeah, I definitely didn't try hard enough since 2022. I thought, oh, you just will learn all these different federation posings and sure, it'll be fine. And I learned so much from Rhiannon, our gal back home in the 5 weeks before my last IFBB. She was like, oh, we gotta get to work, girl. I was like, Rhi, I'm trying. But she did amazing in the time that we had, which was so helpful. And then starting posing a whole lot earlier. So I think it might have even been like, I don't know, April 2023 or something. That's when I started posing to compete in April 2024. And just that practice, that repetition, like everybody says that start your posing early, but like take it from me who tried to learn it in 5 weeks, like you cannot perform it. Like obviously you can get up there and do something, but you're going to feel so much more confident. Like if you just spend a little bit of time every day, every week, do a little something every week, book the posing room out, meet up with some girlfriends, like putting in those reps, not only in your training, but with your posing is going to make such a difference to your stage presence.
It can make you go from sixth to first or like seven, you know, you just never know. Like it can really enhance your physique and it makes you feel so much more confident. I can't imagine just getting up there and just hoping for the best, like, oh God, don't.
No, that's what I did. I was like, is this it? I don't know. Like, is this my side pose? Not sure.
You look cute and you did a really good job and like you managed to get through all fucking federations. I'm like, how did you do it? I don't know, but so good. And you're obviously going to keep Morgan on as your posing coach going forward.
Definitely. Like she's so like intricate, like, and obviously a very hard worker, loveliest gal, but she, we're here to work in our lessons. It's like we're friends, but she'll be like, no, do it again. Go to the back, do it again. Because she wants it to be perfect. She wants to, produce high quality posing. That's her business as well. Like you're representing her when you're on stage. And so it was really, really nice. Like, you could tell like my stage confidence was through the roof this time, even though I forgot my routine. I was like, we're improvising, we're just making it up here. But I felt confident enough to do that, even though I mucked up and like still placed. So it just goes to show what a great teacher she is. Like I could not recommend her any highly. So yeah, she's incredible. I'm just my friend. I know.
If anyone is posing in Queensland, like, or she does, I think she does phone video call ones as well, but it's just nice to get in person sometimes. So hit up Morgan, guys. She's fucking awesome. Get started now for next season. And
definitely.
If you're already late, get it, hurry up.
Yeah.
I love it. So are you going forward? Are you going to stick with IFBB, or do you reckon you'll go back to IC? Like, what are your thoughts on federations?
I do really like IFBB posing. And I think that was obviously like I had a great time ICing. WMBF is an incredible federation as well, especially for natural athletes, because they polygraph you. And I know we talked about this last time. It's like the highest quality testing for like, are you natty, are you not, IFBB obviously being an untested federation, you're going up against potentially some enhanced people, and you have to be okay with that. It's like you got to know what you're getting yourself into. But I love front pose, back pose. That's it. She's a simple gal. I just want to front pose, back pose. I want to get up there, stand there, do my transitions. That's me. The quarter turns was like, I think a bit much, but I just think there's like a sass, like a confidence about the IFBB presence, like you look at those Olympia girls and you're just like, wow, like you are breathtaking, so feminine, but like so powerful at the same time. So I really, really do enjoy the IFBB stage.
And it's the top, like you can't get better or like more elite than that, I suppose, in the world, with Olympia at the top, like it kind of is the one that you can go the furthest. So why not jump in with the big dogs and see how you go? Like little small fishes in the big dog pool to see how we go, and look how well you did. Crazy. Speaking of that, are you still a natty girl?
I love this question. Yes, so I am still natural. And I actually got asked that a couple times throughout my prep. People are like, wow, like, are you natty? And I was like, yeah. And it was quite validating. I think Kurt even said, like, you've made fantastic progress as a natural athlete. And yeah, like still natty. I think last time I talked about it on the potty too, I was quite naive to how PEDs and stuff work. I've learned a lot more, and it's like I didn't even know like what I didn't know.
Yeah.
But as you go into the sport, you do learn a little bit more about like, well, what's required. Like, do you want to go to the Olympia, or are you just sort of competing to have fun, test the waters sort of thing? And there's no right or wrong answer. It's going to be so like individualized to what your actual goal is. But for the meantime, still natty gal, just fighting some mad demons in those hard sessions. I was like, one more rep. No.
I'm going up against the best. Come on.
Yeah. And like it definitely is achievable as well. Like for bikini, I want to preface that, like for bikini, it's definitely achievable to do it natural, which is something Kurt always reminds me as well. He's like, you can do it, it's going to take a little bit longer than say if you were to become enhanced. And that's like something I'm okay with now. Like I'm 29, I'm a bit late to the game. I wish I found bodybuilding when I was 18, but instead I was playing scrumpy hands in the botanical gardens. Like
Hit the waste those 20s.
yeah. And I mean, it's just educating too. Like we live in a world these days where it's like we want short, fast, quick solutions. And it's like there's never shortcuts, there's only trade-offs is probably like the most important thing when considering like your bodybuilding journey as well. But
yeah, absolutely. And when I say yay that you're natty, it's not like yay only the natty.
Yeah.
It's like look at what you did, natty. And we know that a lot of the Aussie girls are, and we love it. I'm here for it. I fucking think it's awesome. And the thing that you mentioned about educating yourself around PEDs and stuff like that, as you just do when you're in bodybuilding. If you're into bodybuilding, you're going to learn about PEDs, and they're not taboo or the devil, or like they're not the end of the world. You know, it's not like, oh my God, you go on them, you're going to die. Like nothing crazy. It's like there is little pieces that are just more like, if you're really into the sport, it's going to get you there. And if sometimes you're not genetically gifted, sometimes if you want to really get it, you know, it's not the end of the world, and it's not really a taboo thing. It's just interesting to know, and it's interesting to learn about, I find, as well. It's really such a big topic. We're not going to dive
It
into
is. No. I was like, I'm probably not the right person to be talking about this, because like, what do I know?
We'll leave that for the boys or someone else to chat about. But
Yeah.
it's good to know, babe. And it's really cool that you're still smashing it, Natty, and you're just killing it, and you've grown so much. It's crazy to see. And it can be done natural. You can see it. You're the proof in the pudding, girl.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, let's move on to moving to Aussie. That was a big move for you and a big thing for you. And you've been there for, has it been a year? How long has it been for you?
2 years in March. So
Wow.
just over 2 years. Feels like yesterday. Feels like yesterday I was packing up my suitcase.
And you're in Gold Coast, Queensland. So how is it all going, babe? And you've been there for a little while now. Are you settled in? Is it like home now? Like, how is it going?
Yeah, like honestly, me and V love it. Like if there was ever a place two sunny people were meant to live, it's the Gold Coast in Australia. Like we have the most beautiful little home. We were very lucky to get like our space, and it's just us, but there's trees, like the beach is right there, where it's just such a good community. We're actually a little bit south of, like Gold Coast, busy surfers, Burleigh. We're down the coast a bit, where it is a bit more like chill family vibes, but we like that. That's what we're about. But no, we love it. Like the sun is up. The whales come next season, like next month. You'll be going for your walk and you'll see just a whale jumping out of the water. Like it's so perfect for us. We absolutely love it here.
I love that, babe. And obviously there's a epidemic going on where everyone's moving over there, and that's just how it goes. Every 3 or 4 years it happens. And everyone cleans out and goes to Aussie. Some people come back, so most people stay there. But we always hear about the positives, right? Aussie's amazing. There's lots of positives. Make more money, sunshine. Everyone's beautiful. Like it's great. But tell us about some of the negatives that people might not know. Like, is there anything that when you move there, you're like, fuck, oh my God, I've got to do that, or I don't get this subsidized, or like just random things that people might not know? I thought it might be a different kind of question, going from the positive to the other side of things.
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't even know what I don't know. Like we haven't explored too far. So like we like it here, we'll just stay, But interstate rules is something. So like Queensland's pretty chill. But you cross the line, like even just to Byron, like you're in New South Wales now, different road rules, different demerit point system, like things like that. And so I guess being onto it, if you do live close to a border, different time zones, okay? You might be just like over the road. You're in New South Wales, 1 hour difference, Queensland time. You're like, if I'm going to the shop, what time is it there? It's crazy. And then it's like half-hour time zones. I'm like, guys, you're confusing me. New Zealand, it's just like daylight savings, not daylight savings. Yeah. I mean, it sounds so cliche, but like snakes.
Oh yeah.
What do you do? What are you meant to do? We had a snake in our backyard and we're like, I don't know, like, do you just let it go? Or like, does it have to be removed? How bad is it? I'm not sure.
What did you do? Did you leave it there?
We called a snake catcher. We're like, hello, snake catchers, can you come get the snake? Like, we're Kiwis, we don't know what to do. And then our neighbor was like, oh, you just pick them up and, relocate them. I was like, no, thank you. Literally. So, I mean, it's just new things that we don't even know what we don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's different. It definitely is different. It's very go, go, go. I feel like every time we come home, like for Christmas, New Zealand's kind of on like island time. And we're like, it could be a good thing, right? To slow down. But sometimes you're like, where's the urgency? Like, what are the shop hours? Like, you're meant to be open.
Oh my God. It's easy to go far in New Zealand. If you want to work hard, you'll be at the top.
Definitely. Absolutely. Yeah, no.
Because no one else is up there anymore. Everyone's an office. It's fine. But that's so good, babe, and it's so exciting. Do you come home much, or do you just come home for like Chrissy? What do you do with like your trips home and stuff like that?
Yeah, like we definitely go back and forth a bit. I mean, it's only like a 3-hour flight, so it's pretty easy. It's not like London or anything. but no, super easy, and always try pop back during summer. Like probably won't catch me visiting in winter. It's like 3 degrees or something in New Zealand in the morning. We're here, it's like 21 winter, it's a bit cold, So
Layer or something.
a bit acclimatized now, a bit delicate to the temperatures. But no, definitely like New Zealand summer is so beautiful. It will like always have my heart. So many memories. The fact that you can just drive anywhere in New Zealand and it takes you like what, a day at most? You drive a day in Australia, you're still in the bloody desert or something. I don't know.
You are, boy. Love it. Oh, before we move on to another topic, which is another big one that I love to chat about, but is he competing against, am I allowed to ask this? Like, what's he up to at the moment? Is he just like doing his thing? Like, I see him working hard on your stories with you and it's such a cute little duo, but what's he up to these days? Is he just doing his thing?
V is doing his thing. He is thriving. He is just the sweetest, most hardworking man. um, he's so just like content, quite a humble man. Like I want to speak mountains and be like, he's so great. But he's doing really well. He's been building since our last shows. Continuing to build, been building as long as possible because being a natural guy, a natural men's physique athlete, you've got to spend a long time in that growth season. Like we sort of said, like you could do it quicker, if potentially, but so he's just growing and he's doing really good. He's working with a coach. He's got his nutrition on lock. You see him meal prepping every week. He's got his containers out. He's working really hard for business, constantly upskilling, constantly educating himself. Like I can't express how intelligent this man is. Like he'll probably never like to say it himself, but he is so intelligent, so well read, so can articulate those complex things really well. So he's just thriving.
Get you a smart man that lifts girls out there.
A smart boys who lift. That's all we want.
The nerdier the better. Mine's the same. I love it. I'm just here for it. You're so smart. I love it. Oh, that's cool. We'll keep watching what V gets up to. And just on that note, if anyone's not following Amber, what you're doing, go and follow her Instagram. It's just like motivating and cute, and you're always just so happy, and you are just who you are, and I just love it. Like there's just nothing like fake. It's just all genuine, just like cuteness, and I think it's just so cute, and I love it, babe. I love following you. You just brighten up the day.
Spoil me.
Just keep throwing them at you. But before we move on to our next topic, like do you find it like hard to be super happy and energized every day, or is it just like your nature, or do you find Instagram like a little bit taxing, how some of us can do at times? How do you feel about giving so much every day kind of thing?
This is a really good topic actually. Obviously like I'm naturally quite bubbly. I'd be like, oh hey, like yeah, want to come, like quite inclusive, quite friendly. And one thing that me and Morgan were actually talking about is like you're really, really nice and friendly and bubbly, but you also have like grit and you're like fucking crazy psycho worker sometimes. And I think sometimes people maybe only see certain parts, and I don't know. I've been like, oh my God, am I fake? Like, I don't think I'm fake by not showing like, actually no, like I'm a hustle through prep. But also like I'm still nice, I'm not scary, but I don't know what to call that other than I almost have like two moods, two personalities. I'm not too sure. But it can be quite hard. I've been working with a business coach actually, Liv Hodge. She's been incredible from MV Social and Co. And she's really helped me with, obviously business and whatnot, like what things to, be showcasing more of, like how do you show up in the way that is going to help people the most. And it's been really, really good having that structure. It definitely can be hard to be like, oh, I'm having a bit of a shit day. But I think the more you show that and you're like, I'm actually just human. Like yesterday I was like, frick, I hurt my elbow, it's kind of annoying, but oh well, we're not going to let it get us down. It's just being raw. And I think that is having such a comeback in terms of social media, YouTube. People want to see authenticity. Like they don't care if you've got the most perfect this, you're flawless all the time. Like they want to see you cry. They want to see you struggling. And even if you're not, like everyone goes through hard times, and we're all human, we all sweat, we all bleed, and showing that like it's not a bad thing anymore. I think that narrative's really changed in social media. It's like the more people can relate to you and be like, oh, you're actually a human, despite what your business does, despite your placings, despite how much money you make, you still have to eat food and drink water. I was like, you're going to be unwell.
We're all the same at the end of the day. I love that, babe. That's cool. And it's just like channeling certain parts of you, right? Because we've all got different sides and different, like little pieces of us, but it's channeling them into the right ways. And it's a forever journey too, but it's really cool. It's cool that you've got yourself a business coach too. Every part of our lives can do with having a coach in it sometimes, and it's just part of learning. And has it been really beneficial for you though? Has it taught you a lot?
So beneficial. I think like obviously coming from a nursing background too, like very scientific. I've got the science on lock, we love that language, how to connect with people, great skills.
Yep.
Finances, business, like very, very naive. There's a lot I didn't know because that just wasn't an avenue that I ever went down through school or university, postgrad. I didn't, learn a lot from it growing up either from just like my immediate circle. So those have all been very new skills, and we're still learning day by day, definitely always learning, but just that constant upskill, with anything, like always remaining a student. Like if you think you know it all, you're probably comfortable. It's time to grow. Like what else can you learn?
100%. Or you need to humble down because you definitely don't know everything. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah, there's always more.
Yeah. And that leads us into talking about our next topic, which is something I love. It's talking about business. Oh my God, it's like I always want to have another separate business podcast because I'm like, oh my God, my brain's always in that sort of mode, But you have a new baby, well, a relatively new baby. I feel like it's not really new anymore, but Ascend, your coaching.
Yes.
Babe, tell us all about it. When did it start? How long have you been doing it for? And what is it? What is Ascend? Tell us about it.
Ascend. My baby. My Ascend is like my whole vibe, right? The word ascend sort of stems from like ascension, and that's like wanting to be the best version of yourself, like growing to your highest potential, turning over every rock, like doing everything with intention, proving to yourself that you can is like we're ascending that highest version of you. And so it's my own coaching business. We do one-on-one coaching, personalized, and really just encouraging a lot of the why. I think my approach to coaching is I'm a bit of an over-explainer. She's a bit of a nerd. I want you to know why you're doing things. I want to explain them to you in ways that actually make sense rather than you need to progressively overload. People are like, what? What does that mean? Especially if you're new, people will be like, okay, yeah, like that girl on TikTok said I have to progressively over something. I don't know. But it's like, what does that mean? And how can we teach it in a way? So it's very like education based, palatable, probably adapting to each client as well, because not everyone's going to learn the same. I'm a visual gal. I need post-its. But yeah, it's going really well. So we launched in Jan. I say we, like, I don't know, it feels like a team effort, like everyone's along for the journey. Yeah, but launched in January and it's been going really, really well. Got the best bunch of gals. I am just so content. Like I love doing their check-ins. I'm just like, oh my gosh, let's see what you've done this week. I'm so proud, and just seeing them thriving, having control of all of those systems too. I think I quite like being the boss. I quite like being like, this is so optimized. This is what we're going to do. Like this is such a good way to run things. Having that sort of creative direction has been really, really good for me personally. But it's going so well, and I'm so excited, and I'm so proud. I've been watching you gals, learning from the best, and just taking on all of those bits and bobs from everyone and everything we've learned along the way, and still learning, as we sort of mentioned. But yeah, very, very happy with how things are going so far.
So cool, babe. It's so awesome to see. And that's what all of us coaches do. And that's why people are probably like, how are these chicks all friends? Like,
are they stealing business? Yeah.
But it's just the way it is. Like, you can't tell a client to come to you. Like, that people will just decide what they want to do. It's sort of like competing. The judges decide what happens. It's like the clients decide, wait, we don't get to choose necessarily. We get to market, but it's not up to us. So we just be friends and everything can just happen, as it does. But as you build a business, like you said, you can easily like now that you're the boss, like you can take things that you want to do yourself and then you can outsource the rest, and it's just having that power and control. And I know that that's something you appreciate just the way I do, and it's just nice to change things if you want to, or just like do whatever you want. It's just so nice, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Who do you coach? You coach women, men, all around the world? Like what is your market sort of thing?
International Mr. 305. No. What is it? Pitbull? Mr. Worldwide. I don't coach boys, okay? It's nothing against you lads. I just, I want to help women. If boys need some help, go see V. He's fantastic. So coaching women only, it's, online, so anyone around the world can join. I've had a few international galleys, which has been really, really cool. A few from the UK, a few from the States, which is awesome. A lot of NZ galleys still. So NZ Oz is pretty much where we're split between, which is fantastic. But yeah, it's accessible. It's education. It's much like you said, like we can change things and we can outsource. Like if there's something I don't know, I'll be like, I don't know, sorry, I'm gonna go ask. Or knowing what you do and don't know and who can help best in those situations is only going to help, the client experience, the coach experience, and the whole community as well.
Yeah, absolutely, babe. I love that. That's so cool, babe. So if people want to jump into a scene, how do they just go to your Instagram? It's probably the best place, right? What do they do? How do they find you?
Yeah, these days it's all Instagram, isn't it? So Instagram, I've got my link tree, okay? And so there's a application for the waitlist. So pop your details down there, give me a bit of a run through. More info, the better. You know me, I love data. I want to know why, but pop your name through there. We have just gone through a heavy onboarding phase. That was the first time I actually opened the book since launching, because we've been full or at capacity. So I've been working really hard to get a few more galleys in while still providing a really high quality service, because I don't know, that's important to me. I remember what your dog's name is, when's your birthday, how the kids doing, that stuff matters to me. It's it's you work with people, right? And so I never want to be so overbooked or full that anyone feels they're not getting the attention or getting the quality of service that they deserve, because it's special to go through a transformation, or depending on what these goals are, it's so personal. You think how special our preps are to us. We're I overcame so much. It's that, but probably times 10, because it's a new avenue for someone who's never even been here before. So all of those fears, all of those uncertainties, I really want to make sure that they feel supported and just confident going through it,
Not like a number or anything, sometimes coaching teams can get so big, you're like, damn, do you remember who you've got? So many people.
Exactly. Morning, Ashley. It's my name's Lisa. You'd be oh, fuck, if you're at that point, probably need to hire someone else, kind of thing.
On your Tinder profile, mate. You need to remember these people's names. You can't just pick people up all day long. It's not like that, but I love that, babe. That's so good. And we'll put the link, if you guys are watching, it doesn't matter where you are, on Spotify or YouTube, I'll put the link below so you guys can check out and drop your name, drop your deets, and have Amber as your coach. Imagine that through winter. We could all
That's
do
the one, baby.
What does a day look like for you at the moment? I know that you do, again, IG, you do sometimes show us through your day. Obviously, they're going to be a little different each day, but what does a kind of typical day look like for you?
Typical day in the life. All right, what do? We wake up 4:30 a.m. It's just us and the bats and the moon up. It's still dark, but I love training in the morning. I want to get up and I want to move. Okay, that is just my personality. So I'll normally get up, have big pre-workout meal, so a big bowl of oats, because I need more than just one rice cake to get through my sessions that Kurt's planned. And then I'll go and train in the morning, get it all sort of done, train, cardio, home, eat, ready to start work from about 9 a.m., pretty office hours, just so that people can get in contact while the sun's up, and we'll work through some check-ins, work through some business admin tasks, replies, obviously form reviews, any important emails, you want to catch those people while they're in the office, all of that. And we'll sort of tinker through the day with tasks like that. It's a very home-based work. We try and shut the laptops around 4 or 5 p.m, get out into that Gold Coast sunset for some walks. Me and V always try do our steps together at the end of the day, because we work from home. We sometimes say we're we like flatmates, or we're business partners. we're both sort of working here, and so it's nice to switch off work mode, and it's like, here's my boyfriend. Let's talk about our days and just come together again whilst being out in nature. We'll come home, cook dinner. Sometimes we'll do like productivity power hour, or like where we want to learn a new skill, or read a book or an article or something, and just sort of wind down and go to bed and read our story.
It's so wholesome too. I love it. What a cool day, babe.
Yeah.
What a life you've
It's
made.
simple. I know it's simple but effective. Like, it's very chill.
Yeah. You're happy, and you know what's coming, and it's not like, it's not anxiety filled because you're like, oh, I didn't prep and I don't know how to, like, you make your life a lot easier when you've got a bit of routine going on.
Definitely.
I feel.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I love that, babe. It's really cool. And what is your training looking like at the moment? Has Kurt got you on like really like pushing you again to sort of move back into like a build, or like what does your training look like these days? And what's your split?
Training. Kurt has whipped up a spicy split for me. So I'm on a 6-day split at the moment, which is like quite a lot. I normally train 5 days max, but we've got to grow the upper body, right? Judges' feedback was like, beautiful full glutes. I was like, yes, thank you. I've been working on those. Could do with a little bit more leanness through the back of the legs, which I know that's my spot for me. Genetically, that's where I hold my body fat, which is fantastic for the off season. It's less fantastic when you're trying to get on stage. But really trying to develop that like V taper and that upper body density a little bit more. So we're doing like Monday glutes and hams. Tuesday is a bit of a pull day with all the gym bros. Wednesday we're training quads. Thursday we're doing like shoulders A. Friday is a bit of a posterior chain. Saturday is shoulders B. And so those 2 shoulder sessions, they're a little bit smaller. So just quick in and outs at the gym really. But it's nice to sort of keep that routine. I think coming out of prep, you're so like, go, go, go. This is what I need to do every single day, that to just sort of stop that sometimes you can feel a little bit lost. You're like, oh, but I normally do 10 million things before 8 a.m.
I love it. What about cardio? Any cardio or no cardio?
Cardio, we're dwindling down. So I was doing like an hour on the Stairmaster plus 10K steps every single day towards the end of prep. Like, it was a lot. It was kind of like therapeutic though, because I was like, this is my me time. I'm just gonna watch a Marvel movie and like know that I just have to get through this next hour and then I can go and do work. Tried to do like replies and stuff. I was like, I can't even see, can't breathe, I need to hold on. So we've sort of stripped it down from that hour. I'm still doing 20 minutes Stairmaster, and about 10K steps a day, but we're really trying to like pull that Stairmaster out. I checked in this morning. So things are looking good. We're just probably dropping it down again this week. But eventually it'll just move to that daily step target until we enter prep again.
Whatever happens next, which is always the next part of the journey. But I remember having like an emotional breakdown when I got off the Stairmaster for the last time in my prep, because I was like, so much Stairmaster, you become like best mates with the fucking thing. It's crazy.
You're attached.
Yeah, and you've just finished your last one and it's show day, and so you push stop. And I remember like I started crying, Becca started crying. But did you have that feeling like, oh my God, my cardio's done? Like I'm done, like it's showtime. Did you feel that weird like it's time?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Just like, wow, like that's it. Okay, here we go.
The rest is in God's hands. I don't know. Like we'll just
Exactly. I think by that point you're like, I've done what I can. If we're not ready by now, like, I don't know.
so bad. Whatever. They'll get what they're given.
Exactly. It is what it is. Yeah.
And what's your favorite training day? What do you like to train them? Is it like shoulders, quads? What's your favorite day?
A bit of a sucker for a quad day. I know I'm always like, oh, quads so hard, but I secretly love it. Like I'm too small for the hack squat at our gym. Like I'm too short that I don't get enough depth. So I've really fell in love with that Smith machine squat recently. And it's like a love-hate relationship. But quad day for me is like it's good, but it's really hard. And I think maybe it's that challenging of, oh, I got through it again today. It's that feeling of, okay, I can do anything if I can get through that, you know?
Oh, yeah, and building the shoulders is kind of not easy, but you can see them more, right? So when we're, and like you and I quite like small, we need to build our legs and stuff. So when you do quads, you're like, I'm doing it, I'm getting bigger, like it's happening.
Yeah.
You're on the right track, right? You know?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Love it, babe. So we're moving into winter now. as we all know, winter over there is like summer over here, but it's still winter. But what are like, and the second half of the year and all of that. But what are I've got to ask you what your goals are and plans for the rest of the year. You can include competing in there. You can keep that under wraps, whatever. But what are your plans for the rest of this year, babe?
Rest of this year, oh my goodness, I have some very, very big business goals, which I want to achieve by December before Ascend turns 1. I just am like, this is what I want. We've got the lock screen. We're going for it, like we're visualizing it every day. That may or may not include a trip to New Zealand, but that's all I'll say for now.
I love it.
So business-wise, we're sort of just like putting that fire from prep. We're keeping the switch on. We're just pointing it in that business direction, which is good because we like to be busy. We like to be moving forwards. It's been quite hard, and even Liv, my business coach, was like, it's very hard going from prep to business, because sometimes you can't be so certain of that outcome. It's like, well, you get to stage and then what? It's like you don't just maybe get to that amount of money or this business goal or X, Y, and Z. You can't control those things as closely. But it's all good things, all good things. Competing wise, look, I'm honestly not too sure. Every check-in, I'm surprised. Kurt is like, you're holding really well conditioning, which is quite different. I don't remember ever like blowing out last time, but I did lose 12 kgs. And I'm like, well, where did it come from? Because I'm not too sure. So competing wise, undecided. I know that NZ Natural Nationals is happening at the end of this year. And that's quite a big thing for the natural bodybuilding scene, I think, because we haven't seen it before. We haven't seen natural pro cards being given out sort of like they're trying to, which I think is really, really great for the federation. There's also Natural Season B happening next year for IFBB now, which will qualify you for the Ben Wider overseas.
Love that.
So a lot of opportunities. We don't have dates set on anything, but that's sort of just like it's out there, and I think Kurt will just tell me, all right, you're looking competitive, let's go for the card. Ideally next time I want to get up on stage, we're going for the card. So whether that's like you go for a year, you go for 2 years, kind of like I said last time, I was like, when I come back, like I want to be so undeniably different that you almost don't recognize me.
You've got to come in with that heat, hey, otherwise it's just like, what are we doing here, but you've got that journey, and it's like you step on stage the first time, you see what you look like, you step on stage again, it's like, how do I fit in my new country? And then it's like, next time I'm coming for the gold, I'm coming for the card, whether it be a natural pro card or just a normal pro card, whatever it is, and that's so cool. They're pushing that natural, sort of more natural, aren't they? And Tony did an announcement on that. If you guys didn't see it, he did an announcement at Nationals. It's on YouTube if you want to watch it for anyone out there, but they are trying to push it, and Tyler Mannion as well. They're all backing it, so that's really cool for the big dogs Olympians. They're all about enhanced, and now they're going, no, we're going to push natural too. So I really think that's cool. And we've got our pro card here this year, so anyone that's listening, get on stage from natural nationals as well as normal nationals, same day, why not? And
Same
you
day, yeah.
might see you up there.
Who knows? Who knows?
Not putting it out there, but I'm sure you will. Maybe you'll be likely to like give us a little allude to what you might be doing closer to the time that you decide you want to compete. Do you think you'd announce it, or you'd like to keep it quiet? Either is fine.
I don't know. V was like, I love just getting on stage, not telling everyone, and winning my pro card, being like, hey, did this thing. I was like, oh, that's so cool. I think I'd let it slip on IG though. I don't know if I could keep that secret because I'm just like, but yeah, I mean, I think next time I do, I might surprise you. I might just show up. But no, I think whatever it is, it'll be really good to obviously, be really competitive and share that time and that stage with, like New Zealand's got some incredible athletes. Like I'm waiting for a few of those girls to hit the stage again. I'm like, I see you. Where have you been training? Like you've been off for 2 years. Where are you?
I know there's some girls coming back. Will you be watching some of our live streams if we have some for the New Zealand shows this year? There's going to be quite a few girls up there.
Oh, every show. I'm like, clear my Sunday, clear my Saturday. I just need to put this on the TV, and I need to see what everyone's up to. So always watching behind the scenes, even though I'm oceans away, but
supporting each other from over the sea. It's part of it. It's how we do it. But you are going to get on stage again. That's all we need to know, is it's going to happen again. And as to when, we'll just be watching. And this is part of bodybuilding. We all know it's a waiting game as to getting on the stage or watching others get on there. It's just part of it. So I'm here for the journey, babe. It's going to be cool to watch what you do next. We're all watching. New Zealand's got your back.
Yay.
We're all supporting
Likewise, Sissy. Likewise.
you.
What about you? When are you hitting the stage this year? No?
Not at all this year. I'm taking this whole year off. I'll be on stage next year, but I'll be doing multiple shows. I want to get up there like 4 times, like maybe 4 or 5. I don't know. I've got Frank, so I can do anything with Frank with my
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's my plan. Take a whole year off like you did, babe, and then come in and see what we built. Hopefully,
cool. Oh my God, enjoy it. How are you feeling in your growth phase?
I love building. I love being healthy. I like not seeing abs. I like having bunda. I like having boobies. I like
the bunda.
Yeah. Pump when you get a pump. Like, I just don't like being super lean. I don't like feeling super small. I don't feel womanly and feminine. I feel like just a bit more masculine, and that's just the way I feel personally in my body. So I just don't really like
it. I agree.
Yeah, and I just like
when I started to shred down, I found myself wearing like all of these clothes, like trackies, hoodies. I was just like, you're the leanest, like most shredded, which is probably what people aspire to look like. I was like, I look like a sick little baby bird. Like, where's my butt? Like, where's my feminine shape? I sort of just looked like a little kid, and I found myself like covering up, not like consciously, but I was like, I'll just wear like trackies and stuff. And yeah, now got a bit more glycogen. We're starting to take the layers off again.
and I'll think about getting the abs out, right?
Yeah.
I get my women do they get like filler and shit, and their boobs. I get it. I'm here for it, man. I fucking understand that shit. But then they go into their off season and then they're super full, and I'm like, whoa. But it's super. Yeah. I understand it now. So maybe next time I'll be in masters next year, so I might need a little bit of.
I won't be far behind you. I'll see you there.
Pretty soon, babe. Not long.
This is
your birthday, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, she's going to be
Sagittarius.
Nice, babe. Well, that's pretty much everything I had for you today, but I do want to ask about your sponsors, because are you sponsored by anyone, and give us your codes and all of that stuff if you have anyone to shout out.
Of course. So I am an ASN athlete. I don't know if ASN, like in New Zealand, is it the same ASN? I'm not too sure, but they're an incredible family. Love their subs. All my discount codes are in my link tree, along with the Ascend waitlist sign up link, and also miles per hour apparel. Okay, the miles per hour shorts. All right, code Amber. They're great. You know, they've got the like compressive on the outside, but stretchy bit on the glutes. you know what's up. Yeah. But no, they're fantastic. Most genuine group of people, like building the company as well. And so, you know, I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true, kind of thing, but they're good vibes, and you got to support good people, you know.
And if you're with them, we trust that, because you wouldn't just jump on with anyone. So
no.
So that's really cool. I'll chuck your Linktree link in the description, guys. So check out any of those that you want to check out. If you want to be coached by Amber, register your deets. I'm sure you guys can have a chat or whatever and figure out if it's kind of what you want to do and what you want to do for the rest of this year with your goals. I'm sure she'll get you there. No problem at all.
Definitely. We love a plan. We love a chat. A little hi, hello.
A bit of data. We love all that stuff. But it's been so good to have you, my love. Thank you so much for your time. I know you're a busy gal, but it's been so good to chat today.
Of course. No, it feels like just catching up over FaceTime or something, right? I'm so inspired. You know, you're doing incredible things for the New Zealand fitness industry, especially. Like, you are setting such a standard. You're paving the way for so many other business women and also like upcoming competitors. So it's incredible to see, Shan. You're doing great. You're doing great, Sissy.
That's what we are, eh? We're both in the boat.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Dave. And for everyone listening, don't forget to like this video if you're on YouTube, and subscribe if you're on YouTube. It's growing. Thank you to everyone who subscribed. And if you're on Spotify, don't forget to give us a little review. That always helps pump us up as well. But otherwise, thank you so much, Amber. It's been so good to chat. And hopefully we'll chat again after your next season, whenever that may be.
Absolutely. We'll make it a yearly occurrence.
All right, thanks everyone for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.